Live from Los Angeles, welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessamine Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV, Roku, and Twitch.
And it's hashtag Manifestation Monday, and we're going to talk about a very contradiction thing of how do we manifest things like fires? Like, how do we do that as spiritual beings? What's going on? We want to talk about that and really send our love out to all the people, the victims, the families, the animals, all the above, firefighters, everyone dealing with major fires in the area, and also give a very, very warm acknowledgement for Veterans Day. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Happy Monday. Happy Veterans Day.
Absolutely. Thank you again for all the time, light, and service that you all have provided to our country and to the great state of California. Please send any money that you can, donations. The LAFD is requesting our support at supportlafd.org. We just really want to acknowledge all of the service that is being honored today on Veterans Day. And we really want to welcome to our show our very special guest on hashtag Motivation Day. Good morning, back in the studio.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Mr. Julian David Stone has the mic, and this time he's allowed the cameras. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Thanks for having me here.
Well, thank you for allowing the cameras. I am so excited about this book, by the way. It is absolutely gorgeous coffee table book. No cameras allowed. His life as an outlaw rock and roll photographer.
Wow, how cool is that?
I think this might be one of the most outrageous conversations we've had on a Monday morning.
I can't wait.
So on Good Morning La La Land, we like to know how you start your day. What's your morning routine like?
Well, my morning routine starts with a can of Diet Coke. That's my first thing when I get out of bed, just to get my eyes open. And then usually I walk the dog, and then after sort of reading the morning news, I'm into my office and getting to work. I work out of my home, so that's how my day starts.
Easier to get there, right?
Yeah. Exactly right. You don't short work that way.
Short commute.
Always in the office.
Oh, wonderful. Good morning. Marissa Peer is in the house. Hashtag I am enough today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark your mirror, change your life. I have a feeling this would be a great way to start my day.
Gotta claim that.
We all need this, that's for sure.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Marissa. How are you this morning?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Oh. So as the founder of RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy, how do you start your day? What's your morning routine?
Do you know what? The first thing I do when I wake up is I go, I love my life. I love my sheets. I love my house. I get in the shower and I go, I love my shower gel, because I've realized that gratitude is the highest vibrational energy. And if you can be happy about little things like the smell of your shower gel, your sheets, when you learn to make teeny things happy, then every day feels like Christmas, and big things are just amazing. And so I've been doing that for years, and because happiness is an inside job. You don't get to happiness. You have to be happy now. And one of the best ways to be happy is when you wake up, think of all the things that make you happy. Your kid gurgling, the fact that you've got gas in your car, the fact that you've got some coffee. Even when I drink my coffee, I go, I love this coffee. I love this vanilla creamer. It's amazing. And it sounds very Pollyanna, but the more you can go, I love my coffee, I love my pet, I love my house, I love the view, I even love the fact it's raining. You know, today I was going, I love the fact that I'm in Venice and not Malibu. I feel so bad about those fires. But you've got to always be grateful for where you are. And when you do that, you vibrate at different energy, and you start to feel happy all the time, even when you're in the traffic, even when your plane is late. You go, I'm just happy. And happiness is an inside job, and you've got to be responsible for it. When you do, it changes your entire life.
Oh, I love that. Her and her beautiful husband, I was speaking to them before the show, and they're just like radiating love. Like, I just like, wow, they clearly practice what they preach, for sure.
Absolutely. Wow, just love that. Happiness is an inside job.
She's speaking your happiness language.
She really is. That was fantastic.
The title of his book, just FYI.
Well, we have got an award-winning entrepreneur in the house. Good morning, Lorenzo. How are you today?
Good morning. Thank you for having me here. I'm so honored here. I'm actually from Toronto, and it's just a pleasure being here in Beverly Hills.
Right?
Well, we appreciate you being here. So tell us about your morning routine. How do you start your day? Entrepreneurs happen to love Mondays, by the way.
They do?
Oh, we do love Mondays, that's for sure. And then for us entrepreneurs, our routine is different every single day. So it really depends as to what you did last night, whether if you pulled an all-nighter or if did you actually get enough sleep as well too. But usually what I try to do is every time I'll wake up, I'll do like a morning meditation just to clear my mind and just do some strategic planning in your head as to what are you going to be doing today, what are you going to be doing for the rest of this week or even next week and the upcoming months as well too. But also another thing that's really important for us is getting some exercise, going to the gym. So I do have a trainer where I do train on everything, on every muscle group, where at the end of the day, like, you got to take care of your body, because if you can't take care of your body, how are you going to be able to function in your business and at work? So, and you know, it says like, you know, health is wealth.
There you go.
Health is wealth.
It is.
Amen. Well, we're so excited that you are all here. Thank you again for sharing your time and your light with us this morning. We're excited to talk to you more later in the show.
Awesome.
Wow, so great.
Mind,
So,
mind, body, and soul.
how was the weekend, Jez? How
was the
Vegas?
weekend, Jess?
Oh,
Las
well,
We
Vegas,
live
huh?
vicariously through Jez.
Viva Las Vegas is right. If you caught it on my Instagram at Jeslyn, you saw my Insta stories. Yes, I was in Las Vegas, and we had a great time. I went with a Focus TV family member, Tanya Meme, and we covered the Big Smoke Conference.
Tammy,
And
we
it's
love you.
interesting. I hadn't ever really experienced the cigar culture in this way. I myself don't smoke cigars, but I appreciate socializing with purpose. And it was so interesting. We were there in support of Rocky Patel, and people were lined up around the ballroom at the Mirage to meet this man. So we started doing interviews and getting people to tell their stories on why they loved them. And you wouldn't believe how many veterans wanted to thank Rocky for sending cigars over to Iraq, to Afghanistan, because that is what their brotherhood was all about in their community. And, you know, they were telling stories about people who were being rushed to the hospital or who were literally on their deathbed. And they said, give me a Rocky Patel cigar. And that's how they enjoyed the last moments of their life. I mean, it was profound, the amount of gratitude that was in this space. And so just to really honor that and honor all of the donations and the work of Rocky Patel it was a great opportunity. It was so fun. Not to mention the wonderful dinners that Las Vegas provides and the great wine, but we had a really, really great time. And yesterday, Erin, I was thinking of you. It was 11/11/11.
I know.
Serendipity.
And then there was 11:11 a.m. and then there was 11:11 p.m. I was doing like prayers at both points in time, and I was like, ah! You know, I almost exploded. Just
Yeah, it was crazy because we had the numerologist on the show on Friday. You know, she had given me my charts and told us about the numbers, and then I got a tweet. I saw a tweet and it was like, it's 11/11/11. I thought, I'm putting all my money on 11. And I did win on 11,
Did
by
you?
the way, in Vegas. I won. Yeah.
$11 million.
No.
quite.
$11.
But I'm going to go ahead and manifest that 11 million yesterday. So it was really interesting. I wrote down my life purpose statement for the next year. Now that Jupiter's circling some sort of something,
Right.
and whatever. There's been a shift, so I'm accepting that shift, and we'll see what happens. But I was really excited.
Very
for that.
auspicious sign, Jazz. I
Oh
love
yeah.
this.
What did you manifest on 11/11/11?
Oh man, peace. I just manifest peace, baby, all day, every day. That's what I'm manifesting right there. I feel like it's the highest, most priceless gift. But yeah, I had a great weekend. Mine was low key, it's relaxed. I was catching up on errands. How about you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was talking about the fumigation, so they're fumigating my place this week, and it was just so great how the universe has this way of always making it relative for what we should really be appreciative for. And so my heart was going out to these fires. I was sitting there in a moment. The week prior, I was like, oh, I got to move out all this stuff, blah, blah. And then I just had this moment. I was going on an errand in between moving, and I was thinking about all the fire victims, and I was like, wow, like I'm blessed to have any of the problems that we do have, and realizing that, as hard as it is, everything going through, these times shift our values. They shift our entire priorities. They shift how we come together as a community. And so, obviously, our hearts are with the fire victims, but just knowing, like, at some level, we've got to, birth this new culture that really has our values straight, and we're going to keep going through whatever we need to go through to get there.
It's true. I remember a time when I was going through just really lots of challenges, and I remember seeing a quote that really resonated with me, which was that I was unhappy because I had no shoes until I met the man who had no feet. Right, and that for me is sort of a great just sort of reminder that you always have something to be grateful for. if it's even if it's just life itself, which is the highest gift. So it's great and important to stay focused on gratitude. I love what our guest had to say about that. I want to hear more.
Yeah,
you know what I want to hear more of?
Yeah.
If you follow at Rob Mac Official on Instagram, he started doing these happiness hack videos.
Did he? It only took me like 3 years.
Like telling him, come on, you gotta do this. People want to hear it.
My biggest fans and friends right here. I appreciate you guys so much. It took me forever because I just something feels so narcissistic about recording yourself on video.
No
but I finally said, you know what? I didn't learn all this stuff to keep it to myself.
But people have reached out to me like, oh, I'm so happy Rob is finally
Right, no, people.
Probably the DM about it.
We're excited. So tease us a little bit. What's your happiness hack of the day today?
Oh man, today I think it's going to be about purpose. I think we both have both an inner purpose and an outer purpose, and our inner purpose is really peace, love, and joy. And we all share that inner purpose. And we have an outer purpose, which is how that inner purpose manifests itself or unfolds in the world. And your outer purpose is really always shifting and changing. Sometimes it looks like fashion, sometimes it looks like modeling, sometimes it looks like writing a book. But the key is to really get that inner purpose part right, because that way, even if you don't fulfill your outer purpose, you're happy, and that's the point of it all. Sometimes people get it the other way around, where they really aim at fulfilling their outer purpose first, and maybe they succeed in that, they make $1 million, and they're very successful, but they're not happy, and so that's sort of not what I would call true or authentic success.
So true. So it was so funny because one time I remember doing, this was years ago, a Facebook Live on how to create your life purpose, and I was talking about the story of how it was in meditation that the voice came through and spoke, and I had a dear friend online. She was like, that changed my entire perspective. But she's like, I didn't even think. I've been looking out in the world to find it, to seek it, to see where it is, and like she goes, oh, you go within. It's actually like it's a knowing or spoken through or a vision or whatever comes through, right?
Erin, that is just gold. I remember I spent like 10 years reading every book on purpose, trying to figure out what it really was. And part of my challenge, I realized, was exactly that. I was looking out into the world and saying, what job or what career suits me best? And if I had continued along that route, I may never have discovered that I was meant to be sort of a happiness coach. So I did just what you said. I quieted my mind, just spent time in that silent, sort of quiet, calm, collected place. And eventually I just sort of stumbled upon this idea that, I want to help share happiness with the world.
Right.
Yeah. It's really interesting though, because I invest so much in my social capital. And we talk about that often, or joke how social I am. And for a long time I was doing that, hoping that that would afford me opportunity, that somebody I met was going to give me something, or if I convinced somebody to love me in a relationship, then that would change my life. And granted, there is a purpose in networking and creating strategic relationships and fostering them. But it is so true, because I realized I am already enough, right? That purpose is within me. And that's what this is all about. I marked my mirror, and now, well, hypothetically I did. Now I'm actually going to put it on my mirror in lipstick, because I really then changed my whole perspective. It was like, you are and you always have been everything you need to accomplish your goals and fulfill the desires of your heart. And that is something that I affirm to myself every single day, whether I'm in traffic or I'm looking at myself in the mirror, is that I am already enough. And that is so vital.
Oh, it's absolutely everything. I think to the extent we outsource anything that we want in our lives, we disempower ourselves, right?
Completely.
We make it almost nearly impossible.
Except for emails.
Except for emails, we're outsourcing, right? Too much admin, too much administrative task. I get it.
Honestly, I just want to give a shout out to my son. He and Urban Flats, my cousin, put me up a couple days at a beautiful condo downtown while I'm getting the fumigation. So I just am so, it's so rad as a mom to have your son give you the hookup on it's like so amazing. I'm like pinching myself.
And he is such a G. Your son,
he's a G.
Isn't he? He's a hustler, man. I love that guy. Absolutely.
Well,
so
we also want to mention our friends at Nail and Bone. If you follow them on Instagram, they're a great nail polish with a purpose. 20% of all proceeds do go back to animal rescues, and right now they're collecting donations to help with all of the furry animals.
Just to clarify, it's One Love Malibu. Is actually they sent it. It's an Instagram handle called One Love Malibu, and actually on that handle they're posting all the things like today where you can donate things, what they need. Certain people, if they post about it, then they're going to repost it on there. But it came from Nail and Bone for sure. So and there's also GoFundMe. There's tons of people that have set up GoFundMes. I don't know which ones are best, but I would imagine imagine that they have reviews and things like that. So GoFundMe, how can we get involved? How can we give? Whatever that is. So we're trying to all figure it out. Like, where do we go? How do we help? We don't know what to do.
Again, and I mentioned it at the top of the show, but I'll share it again. Support LAFD.org to support the Los Angeles Fire Department. Anything you can give is very much appreciated at this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And just knowing Motivation Monday, we just want to remind everyone that manifestation comes always from belief. It's always at a core level, and so knowing today is a perfect day to just really go within, take some time, do your prayers, know the truth, and transcend what you want. Also transcend the inspired action to help serve today, for sure. Right?
Absolutely.
Hashtag I am enough.
I am enough. I say we take a break and get with this amazing woman back here. Oh my gosh, Marissa up here.
Stay
So
tuned.
excited.
We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
Guys or girls, whatever,
Yes,
put
it is.
lipstick on there.
Yes, it is.
That would be a great one.
Get this back here. A little heavy
Awesome.
here.
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Lipstick on there.
Yes, it is.
Oh, we're still live. Still live.
Okay, good.
All right, here we go. You're going to over this side of the house right here.
Oh, right.
You're going to step out.
Oh, boy.
Right, so sorry.
You want me here or there?
Right where you're sitting.
I love the gratitude thing. Oh my gosh. It's everything. Yes.
We'll just set these over here for a minute
everything.
while we're doing this one
It's
thing.
literally everything.
There's always something to be grateful.
Oh, let's see.
Life.
You know your quote? That was my dad's favorite quote.
Really.
I guess I could go. I guess I'll go over here today.
Oh, yeah. It's almost a little weird.
I'm
It
by
is,
you.
It is very strange actually because I'm
coming by
almost
you
sure I have
today.
to check for my dad. But I'm going to believe that my dad is the one who shared it. Isn't that wild?
Taught you that.
Yes, I believe so. I have to double check on
Just
that.
a
But
teeny bit more to your right.
yes.
Great, right there. I'm
As
going
long
to
as
kind
I'll
of
read.
sit close
Yes.
to you, if that's okay. Okay, great.
Oh, we already got one back here. That's all right. I have two.
It's so pretty. They're gorgeous
Aren't they?
books. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I disagree here.
Thing.
I always cut them out.
I do too. They're so annoying.
Thank you. Because it's loaned, I don't
you
want
can't
to
cut
alter
it,
it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's better.
Thank you.
Julian David Stone. Such a beautiful name, too.
Thank you.
Yeah, strong name.
Very strong.
Real name. Apparently, it's the one my parents gave me.
Pretty good deal.
Change it. Yep.
Yeah. That was nice.
Jess, do you want to bring him in? I'll bring Marissa. Cool.
Hello, world. Little BTS.
Cut that part, huh?
No cameras allowed. Erin, do you have a little standby?
Oh, yes, I do. Sorry. I'm afraid it's so heavy, though.
It might.
I don't think it's
Well,
good.
we'll try it.
Right.
There we go.
All
Yeah.
right.
No cameras allowed. Man, that is so
Really
cool.
incredible.
Thank you.
Great job. Wow. The cover alone.
Yeah, I got lucky. The designer I worked with was great. He did a great job.
Great to team up with people like that.
Yeah.
Have a vision that is in alignment with your own.
Or when they make it better.
Strange.
Or,
Yeah,
or
that's
that.
even better,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, wow. Yeah, I thought my idea was pretty good, but this is insane. So true. Yeah.
90 seconds.
Great, thank you.
Where do you live?
The Valley.
Oh,
Yeah, Studio
Is
City.
it smoky over there?
Not, it depends. We've had some smoky days since this started and some not right now. This morning was beautiful.
Right, yeah, it's
Yeah,
changed a
yesterday
lot.
morning
I
was
know.
not, yeah. We have some friends who were sort of like on standby that might be coming to stay with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're closer to it up in Chatsworth.
60 seconds.
So, yeah, just terrible.
30 seconds. Rolling. Rolling. 20 seconds.
It's so quiet
I was
again
just,
today.
there, literally right behind.
never
It's never been this
it's
quiet.
never
before.
been
really?
Oh my God. We have to like remind people.
You won't believe the entourages that come in here, and it's like a party. It's fun.
Oh, that's
it's a little
great.
hard to do the conversation when you're like,
11,
somebody over there's having a lot of fun. What are they saying?
8,
Like there.
7,
Here,
6,
Thank you.
Good blow up.
5, 4,
I'm just getting better.
3,
It's out.
2,
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLaLand. I am so honored to welcome Julian David Stone to the show, finally allowing some cameras.
Look at this gorgeous book.
And
It is
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thanks for having me.
So
An
beautiful.
outlaw and a rock and roll photographer. You have seen it all.
I saw a lot. This was a fun period of my life in the early 80s with a lot of crazy adventures, and the goal was just to get as many of the photos and the adventures in the book.
You know, what is it about you that they allowed to capture the magic? Because they don't let just anybody into this world.
Well, this was part of my story. I wasn't invited into the world. I decided to find my own way in. I went. I was about 17 years old, and I went to see the Ramones, and I wanted to take pictures of them, and showed up with my bag over my shoulder, and was sort of laughed at by the bouncer, who pointed to a sign that said "No cameras allowed." And I decided in that moment, I think there's a way I can get around this. Went back to my car and sort of hid the equipment on my body, went into the show, took pictures of the Ramones, and after that was hooked. Shot about 10,000 pictures over the next few years, all of it by smuggling equipment into shows.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
So I'm dying to know. Okay, you've seen this all. You've written scripts. You've done you have shows. You have also. What is it? What's the biggest takeaway from Hollywood? What would you say if you just sum it up and like, what's the takeaway?
Well, that's sort of the Hollywood part of it sort of came later. When I was doing this, this was all rock and roll, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. That would be my biggest takeaway. And sort of going into, you're talking about being inspirational, what I found when I was doing it was the bigger the challenge, the more I decided I was going to find a way to get the equipment in, because I started getting more aggressive in the amount of equipment. So my inspiration was how do I foil security, frankly, and get this equipment in. This is before digital. We're talking about 35mm cameras that were huge, so I started taping things on my body. I modified a coat so that it had secret compartments to hide equipment.
So you're telling us that your whole career is based on crimes.
Well,
That's why he calls himself an outlaw right here on the book.
Exactly. Well, at the heart of rock and roll is rebellion, and I felt this was my way of being part of that rebellion, because before the photography, I wanted to be a rock star, and that lasted about 2 seconds. Pretty much the first time I picked up a guitar and realized I had no musical ability. So I found another way, and this was my way into the world.
So in capturing some of these true rock stars, what do you think is the common denominator, that je ne sais quoi, that magic they have about them?
That's a great question. You know what I would say it is? It's the confidence. When you go see Prince at his peak, or U2, or the Police, you can just tell that these are people that are very, very sure of themselves. And I have a picture in here of Sting, of the Police, at Shea Stadium in 1983 at the height of his career, and he's standing in front of 70,000 people shirtless. And I was like, you know what? That's a rock star. That's the definition of a rock star, to be like that.
So beautiful.
So.
Clearly, a ton of confidence to begin with, but did you find that confidence that they had rub off on you? Did you find it rubbing off?
I found it more that I wanted, the better they were, the more I wanted to capture pictures of them, and the more I felt a responsibility that the better the performance there was, the more I felt I needed to get great pictures.
Yeah.
That's how it rubbed off on me. Seeing Prince, I saw him during Purple Rain tour at his peak, and just, it was unbelievable. As great as he was through his whole career, at this moment in time, everything Prince. That was the closest to Beatlemania that I ever saw, personally, and I felt it came through in my pictures from those shows.
What secrets have you discovered about getting great pictures? Anything you've discovered along the way?
Well, that's a good question. Just shoot as much as you can, and practice a lot. That's something I found the more I shot. Don't only shoot rock stars, shoot smaller bands, because you get better, so that when you have the bigger shows, you have your skills. You have
practice.
better practice,
Fascinating.
absolutely.
Fascinating. We're such a visual culture, especially now with Instagram and videos, everything. And for this, Instagram is so bad because people do the same shots over and over again. What is your favorite photography? Like, is it like just capturing that moment of just where you're just seeing someone at their peak of their art, or what is your favorite?
I was always trying to find a moment in the show that I felt defined who this performer was. One of my favorite pictures I have of Prince is I have him sort of in midair doing splits, in midair touching his feet, and to me that defines him, because not only is he doing all of this, he's in heels. So I was like, there it is, he's in midair, and you know he's gonna, you know, with these beautiful platform shoes, and you know he's gonna stick that landing, and that's Prince, you know.
Wow.
Which artists did you enjoy photographing the most? Was there someone that really spoke to you?
Like I mentioned, Prince, U2, seeing U2. I saw them in Ireland in the early 80s, and that was pretty special because that was just as they were starting to become what they are now, sort of international superstars. And I saw a show there where it was a very intimate show because they're from Dublin, and they had just gone out on their first sort of world tour, and they'd come back and were playing back in Ireland. It had a very hometown feel, and that was a very special experience. Sort of, I felt like I think I probably was the only American in the crowd, and I really felt it.
So how did you stay undercover? I mean, after you've seen tens of thousands of shows,
You know what?
aren't they saying this guy at some point?
You know, you just try to keep your, you know, I as I said, I had sort of big coats and stuff I modified. You keep your equipment hidden until you take the pictures. So I would literally whip it out, take a picture, put it back in, and that was the way to do it. And sometimes it didn't always work. I was shooting, you showed the picture of Joan Jett, actually it was that show. I was shooting Joan Jett in a club. And sometimes, you know, you had to stay aware during the show, and all of a sudden I noticed there's a roadie on stage looking at me and pointing at me like, I see you. And I was like, well, I'm in this packed club, I'm safe, he's not gonna get me. Well, I was wrong. He jumped off the stage, came running through the crowd right at me. This guy, and this is a big guy, he comes tearing at me. I get my camera equipment hidden away. He takes down the guy next to me.
Oh, wow. Relief.
Takes this guy down, and I just like, okay, I'm just gonna walk away. And you know, so didn't all that, to answer your question, it didn't all get away with it. So
Wow.
So tell us about everything in here, what they can expect for this to be on their coffee table.
Sure. So there's 250 pages. This is all photos that have never been seen before of Prince, David Bowie, U2, The Police, Elvis Costello, Chuck Berry, the Ramones, you name it. If they were big in the 80s, they're in there.
Okay,
So,
I'm taking this one. If you love
Rock and roll.
rock and roll, man, you need this. And it's so, I love the colors. It definitely, people are going to like this one for, it's all about the colors on the cover to have it go with all the decorations. So I love it. Where can people find it?
you can get it at Amazon, or if you want signed copies, because a lot of people have asked me about that, you can get them at my website, which is juliandavidstone.com.
Julian, you've captured some absolute icons, but what is it that you want to be known for?
That's a good question. That I did good work. You know, I'm still, most of my work is in the film business, and I'm still, you know, working away in that, and that people enjoyed my work and were inspired by it.
It's also, you know, you're also a testament in dreaming really big. I remember once getting snuck backstage of a Mariah Carey concert because I was kind of obsessed when I was like 20. It was ridiculous. And they mistook me for a GQ writer. So I would get to do an interview. But that was the end of my dream. That was the end of it. So if I had only dreamt bigger and had an eye for photography, maybe.
So did you interview her?
Incredible. I did. Yeah. Yeah. It was a total accident though. It wasn't like, you know, I just didn't dream big enough. So I love that. Did you, when you initially snuck those cameras in the first time, did you have a dream that you would be doing it for 10 years, or was it just a one-time thing?
It was a one-time thing, but then I became obsessed with it. It was so much fun, and I was so happy with the pictures. And then part of this isn't, there's not just photos in here, but there's the stories more of my encounters with roadies, and also the journey that I went on, because I did reach a point, after a few years, it started to take off. I started to go pro, because of the pictures were good enough that I started getting hired, and I had to make a choice. Do I follow photography, or do I follow the film business? And I chose the film business, and it's a debate which whether I took the right fork, but
we feel that you did.
Well, thank you so much for sharing these iconic images with us, and for living the life of an outlaw you did. You are an absolute rock star.
Well, thank you.
Soon. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
So much, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Really awesome.
So pretty.
These are really
So
cool.
inspiring.
Thank you. I have another.
Thank you so much.
No, we brought them. We intended that, so.
I will gladly receive that as long as you sign it.
So
for me.
you gotta
Happy to
sign
do it.
it.
We'll do that.
Thank you so much.
Wow, brother. Thank you so
This
much.
is
This
really
was awesome.
cool. Thank you.
That's so sweet. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Pleasure.
awesome.
Thank you.
Amazing.
That's such a
So
Rock and roll.
what a gift.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay, this.
All right, come on in.
You know, Steven Spielberg has a similar story.
Yeah, I'll get that.
You know, I guess yeah.
Got it.
Something about that.
Yeah.
I got
One of my favorite Billy Bob Thornton quotes
yes,
is,
there's three.
Hey, come on.
the only problem is that falling
Yes, bring them all.
rules is always
Yes, for sure.
There you go. Or as our
No
partner
cameras
says,
allowed.
The harder I practice,
Cool
the
freaking
luckier.
ball.
Yeah, right.
I
Yeah.
know, right? When I got my
Thanks,
own
brother.
place and I have a real living room. Woo!
I'd love to.
Collector's items. I'm so excited.
It's so beautiful.
I'm so excited.
You know, and this would be so amazing to do a big Instagram campaign and
Yeah.
have girls write with lipstick on their mirror and then have them.
It was actually called Lipstick Your Mirror.
Run around and be
All right, we're coming back in
We have to change it.
45
Oh yeah,
seconds.
yeah. Okay.
Such a great ball.
People will keep telling me, they say,
So is there another
I love
copy?
watching
of
you
the
Yeah, I think there's three. Can you bring the other books in?
Another one, just
and I
because
was
I
like,
want to
that's
open the
it.
page.
I
Yes,
just gotta
yes.
keep it up.
Yep. Even if it just me.
Oh, thank you so much.
Whatever.
Of course, you could use all of these.
It's perfect. Oh, that's
Here you
perfect.
go,
Ship
guys.
it right to me. I ship it
Yep.
right back.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
Oh, it's ideal.
Yeah,
that is
it's
ideal.
great.
No reason to.
Uh-huh.
Especially your TV, you can't wear more than one.
No,
a couple
it's
times.
great.
Yeah.
20 seconds. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La. I'm so thrilled on Manifestation Monday to have Marissa Peer in the house. She is really a coach. You do rapid therapy, transformational therapy. I'm so excited to hear all about it. You know, I'm obsessed with transformation. All of us are. So we've come to the right place, the right couch.
We've
for sure.
got Britain's best-selling author, top therapist in the house, and it is an incredible opportunity to have this conversation with you because RTT, the rapid transformational therapy, is very different, right? You're pioneering a whole new method.
Yeah.
So tell us about it.
Well, you know, I found being a therapist for 30 years that none of my clients wanted to go to therapy every Friday at 4 o'clock for 10 years. You never say to a dentist, you know, I've got an infection, can I come in every Tuesday and talk about it? They go, no, you've got an infection, we have to remove it. And therapy is the only part of mental health where you keep talking about the problem instead of fixing it. And all my clients are, can you fix me now? Can you fix me fast? Can you cure me that I can't speak on stage? I've got bulimia, I'm anorexic, I have bipolar, I just want to get better fast. And lots of my clients are in pain, like physical pain from migraines, intense emotional pain from being anxious or having bipolar, and they don't want to wait. And so I thought, why don't I get them better now? So I would do 1 sessions, and I would always say, look, I'm a detective and a dentist. I'm going to go back and have a look at why you're like this, and I'm going to fix you in 1 session. And so I do something called What Lies Beneath. I'd never say to people, what happened, what's wrong with you? I go, what happened to you? They go, I just can't stop eating cakes. I'm always unhappy. I can't do confrontation. And I'd always start from no baby is born unable to resist cakes. No baby says, don't look at me, I've got fat legs. No baby says, I can't stand attention, because the first thing you get is attention. So I'd start from, listen, you've acquired this, and I know how to unacquire it. And it became so successful. I've now trained 2,500 people all over the world to do what I do. We're training doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, mental health. We have now prisons and schools using I'm Enough because they say it makes such a profound change. So it's so exciting to find a brand new therapy that works, that is fast, but also permanent. It never wears off.
But so tell us what the actual process is.
So the process is, actually, interesting enough, because I got voted the best therapist, I found myself working with major CEOs and many rock stars. But
they need a lot of work, right?
And I was wondering, what is wrong with rock stars and Olympic athletes and movie stars and supermodels? And I realized that all my clients, whether you're a rock star, a movie star, or a school teacher, have the same core problem: I'm not enough. I worked with many, many addicts, and I've never found one ever who thought they were enough. So if your problem is hoarding, compulsive shopping, excessive drinking, gambling, smoking, excessive use of drugs, I don't treat that. I treat what lies beneath, and it's always the same. I'm not enough. I need to be famous because I'm not enough. a lot of my clients would go, why are these rock stars coming to your house? They've got everything. I like, they haven't got everything. They haven't got the one thing, which is I'm not enough. And actually the driver for fame is often I'm not enough. If you look at Heath Ledger, Philip Seymour Hoffman, even Robin Williams, beneath the talent is an intense need to be loved. And if you become famous, everyone loves you except you. I saw that in Princess Diana. The whole world loved her, but she never thought she was enough. And so my thing was, why don't I fix the core? Instead of fixing all these issues that are sprouting out. And so many of my clients said, well, I've been in rehab 8 times. Your enoughness was the thing that stopped me drinking, the thing that made me leave an abusive relationship, the thing that made me say, I can do better.
Right.
And we have quite a lot of rehab facilities now using I'm enough.
But how does this work? Because like obviously we know that all therapy and all work comes down to that, but there's different modalities. There's EMDR where you do, you know, you're bringing back and forth the eyes to realign the brain. There's subconscious programming. There's all kinds of different cognitive. So what is your actual process?
I think the first thing is the questioning. So I put people in hypnosis and I take them back to a scene, and conventional therapists go, where are you? You know, what are you doing? What are you feeling? And I don't do that. I go, how old are you? 5. And I want to say, I'm 5 and I feel anxious because, and they go, I feel anxious because my mum's just left, or my dad's left, or we don't have the money to pay for school fees. So I gather the information, but then I make the client tell me what that means. We do something called left hand, right hand. And they go, okay, so I'm anxious we don't have money, and I'm worried we won't have money. And children do something called tagging, which I invented the tagging. They look at a scene, I don't have money, I don't have love, and they tag on a belief, and it will always be like this.
We call it commands.
For the rest of my life. It's a belief that says, I have an unmet need for love or safety, and I can't meet it, so it will never be met. And these children become adults who go through life thinking, I'll never make money. Even when they're millionaires, I have many kinds of millionaires who go, I worry about it running out. I'm like, but you can't even spend it. I know I have love, but I worry that one day it will go away. And so what ITT does, it goes back to look at the unmet need of the child that's really in your office, and then shows them that this is a belief that hasn't been true for 20 years or never be true again. And then we get rid of the belief, we extract it using certain techniques. One of them is called It's Not Me. They're all in the book. And the client has to go, well, that's not me. I'm not 3. I don't worry that because my dad doesn't love me, I'm not lovable. And they have to kind of justify why it's not them. It sounds so simple, but in my experience, the simple techniques have the most profound results. Because, you know, all of us, we have a job, a partner, a house. That's enough work for the rest of our life. We don't have time to write out 1,000 goals a night, read 6 books a week, manifest and meditate for 3 hours a day. That book is what I do. 5-minute or 3-minute or 2-minute
The book
techniques.
is enough too, right?
Change your entire life. People say to me, wow, if I'd only known. Somebody reviewed that book and said, I've been in therapy for 10 years, I've just left. I learned more in half a day reading that than I ever learned in therapy. And the techniques take a minute, but they've changed my life. And that was what I wanted to give people. You can spend a minute or 2 minutes doing things like It's Not Me, or the left hand, right hand, and it will change your life forever, and we all want that.
Just fantastic, absolutely. I love the process that you're describing here, and of course I love your work. And I'm wondering, you know, what you would say to people that intellectually know or believe that they're enough, but emotionally don't feel it, like viscerally don't feel it. How do you untag the emotion that's attached to the belief?
You know, I created the rules of your mind, and one of them is your mind learns by repetition. And when you go, I'm a goddess, your mind goes, you're not really a goddess. Like, come on, you're wearing clothes from Target, you live with 3 other women, that's not a goddess. So the mind will reject stuff that it knows is fanciful. I'm a rock star when you're not. But when you say I'm enough, its strength is in its simplicity and its absolute truth. You are, you always have been, and you will be to the day you die. You're not the size of your thighs or the label you wear. You're definitely not your childhood or what people did to you as a child. And so you may reject it, but you have to keep saying it and saying it. And what I have people do is change all their passwords. So they say, I'm enough. Obviously, I'm enough, ... squiggle, something.
Right.
Because then you're typing it every day. I have them write it on their mirrors, write it on their fridge, put it on their screensaver, set off their phone alerts. You almost bombard the mind. It goes, oh, here we go again. that must be true because you say it, think it, speak it, read it so much. And marking your mirror so that every time you clean your teeth, you see it, it sinks in like lotion sinks into dry skin, and it does exactly the same nourishing job from the inside. But you have to say it. Don't have to believe it. If you say every day I'm an idiot and I've got a memory like a sieve, I can guarantee that will become your reality. And if you say I have a phenomenal memory, everything comes back to me, that too will become your reality. The words you use form the reality you speak. And every word you say is a blueprint that your mind is working 24 hours a day to make real. And if we were only taught that, we wouldn't go, well, I'm just an idiot. I can't do confrontation. I always get ghosted when I go on Tinder. When you say that, your mind is setting up to make that your reality. And when you say, I'm phenomenal, I have a gift, I have a skill, I can monetize something unique about me, your mind goes, I'll help you. I help you achieve that. But you really have to know how to specifically and accurately dialogue with your mind. And I think that's what makes RTT so good. It's won so many awards because we show people how to do it, not how to talk about it, how to actually do it.
So can they do it for themselves?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
You can do so much for yourself. That book is full of little things that you can do that change your entire life. And it's full of little sayings. You know, one of my favorite sayings is from Henry Morsey. It says, the feeling that cannot find its expression in tears will cause other organs to weep. And I love that for the doubters, because if you can't open your mouth and go, you hurt me, your body goes, let me express that hurt. And 70% of people going into ER have physical symptoms. They're real, they're not psychosomatic, but they're caused by emotions. I can't express anger. I've got an angry rash all over my body. I can't express hurts. I've got thumping migraines. I keep everything in, and I'm always pushing everything down with food because we're taught not to express our hurt, when in fact, one of the best things you can do to have inner peace is to say, I was hurt by, and that hurt me when, because there's always a hurt behind anger. And I work with so many kids, and when they get to go, well, that hurt me, it goes away immediately. There's so many things you can do, but the saddest thing is we're taught not to feel our feelings. And your feelings are the most real thing you have. And if you start to Netflix your feelings, or shop your feelings, or eat your feelings, or drink your feelings, they don't go away. They actually regroup and come back stronger than ever. So we teach you to feel the feeling, and then it goes away really fast.
And you even share all of this insight in your free online masterclass. Tell people where they can find it and follow, learn from you.
If you go to, we have a website called imenough.com, marissapeer.com, and we have rapidtransformationaltherapy.com. If you want to learn how to do this just for yourself and your children, and maybe your partner, you can do imenough.com. If you'd like to become a rapid transformational therapist, because in doing that, you don't just change other people's lives, you change your own, then go to rapidtransformationaltherapy.com. And if you want lots of free products, we love giving stuff away, money blocks, relationship blocks, career blocks, go to marissapeer.com. And we give away stuff all the time, mini courses and masterclasses.
Thank you for that.
Such profound work. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. You're such a lovely lady, and love your book.
gift.
So write on your book, mark your mirrors, I am enough. Right?
Yeah,
Gotta
it'll
do it.
change your life. I guarantee it. If you don't like it, we'll give you all your money back.
There you go.
You know it works.
Thank you,
Thank
Marissa.
you.
Stay tuned.
Thank
We'll be
you.
back with more on Good Morning La La Land. Clear in my afternoon. You know, there's one thing
So beautiful.
I
Thank you
always
so
say.
much.
I always say,
All right, come
I've
on
got to just
out.
flip that emotional switch, and maybe this is just what I need.
Oh, it absolutely will.
Just
Really
that,
awesome.
that
Love the way you described it.
It's very fast. It's very similar to a Greek music process. We go into the community.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I'm so excited to welcome Lorenzo Escobar in the house. He is an award-winning entrepreneur. What is it like to be you, to speak on these stages? You're doing these TED Talks, you're winning awards, building a business. So many people would just, they would kill for that.
Everything's just been a blessing, and I just can't fathom as to how appreciative I am for everything that's been going on, and especially, I have to give credit to the, my family, my friends, my employees, my team members who helped me get this far. And it's really nice as well too, because I came to Canada in 2002 as an immigrant, and when I started the business at 18 years old, and it was really difficult a couple years ago where we were in a recession. I tried to apply for work to a lot of places, but either got turned down, rejected, or just didn't hear from it. And I was just a typical student where, I just had bills to pay where, okay, what am I gonna do? And I'm a big car guy, I'm a fanatic, and I enjoy cleaning cars where, you make them look like new again. And then it's just really, I started the business more out of necessity and a means of survival. So I did that during school, and then I did serve in the military part-time as well for the Canadian Forces. So I did 4 years of service in that while I was in school full-time. But when I graduated university, I decided to go full-time to do the automotive detailing business and just pretty much grow from there. So my company, Inception Automotive Detailing, so we actually make cars look like brand new again, just as if you bought it. We do a lot of specialized services from paint protection films, window tinting services, ceramic coating, where we work on mostly on a lot of high-end cars. And just a story as if, so when I graduated university at 22, so before my 23rd birthday, I actually got a gig to work with Google, like in Google Canada, and a year after that, so we got a contract with Tesla and a partnership as well on their vehicle charging and servicing their cars at their dealership in the Toronto area.
Wow.
Nice.
And just from the struggles, I had a lot of struggle. A lot of people have been hearing the story, and a lot of them seem to get inspired, especially for Filipino actually doing it, because most of us have been raised and grew up where do well in school, get a good job, get good grades, work your way up the corporate ladder, and then just make it. But it's really unheard of for people actually just going out there and doing their own thing.
So in that conversation, because that's a very important conversation, Good Morning La La Land's all really about dreamers. It's not just about LA, it's really about the mindset around it. So speak to that. Somebody's out there, they're Filipino, or they come from a family that has that thought process is you should become a doctor, an engineer, whatever. We hear it all the time, right? What words of inspiration could you give to them?
Words of inspiration is surround yourself with like-minded people. Those who surround yourself with is who you become. Your network also becomes your net worth. So it's nice that attend a lot of events, just going out there, meet different kinds of people, get to know them, build a genuine relationship with them, and then also don't let others dictate as to how you want to live your life as well too. Just do what you enjoy doing and what makes you happy.
Did you have a coach, a mentor? Like, what were the groups that you were the most empowering for you?
So I do have a lot of coaches and mentors, and one that actually made a big difference in my life was his name is JT Fox, where his organization actually helped grew myself on a personal level, where he made me think outside the box, where I was just so restricted. So I came everything with an open mindset, and also learn somebody who's more successful than you. It's nice to have many different coaches, whether it's for personal development, spiritual direction, also business direction as well too. By having these people involved in your life, they really push you to the next level.
You're right. We've all had mentors and coaches. So important, and great to acknowledge everyone that's. We're always students and teachers, all of us, and so it's so wonderful. And where can they find you? How can they work with you? How can people out there work with you?
Well, I do have a personal website. It's called lorenzoescobar.com. Also, my company website, inceptionautodetailing.com. So we're very internationally recognized across the world. So we've been featured quite a bit in publications, and it's really easy to get in touch with us.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
all your success.
Thank you for having me here.
And congratulations for being a voice and really that person that's breaking through some of those, stigmas of that identity and the culture and trying to go past what their parents are telling everyone to do and stuff like that. Yeah, so
Thanks
wonderful.
for having me here.
Lots to celebrate.
Lots to celebrate.
If you could just share a little bit about what's next for you. What are you working on right now?
Well, actually, at the end of this month, I'm actually going to be heading to South Africa. It's going to be my 3rd time this year, so I do have a gala function there for the Nelson Mandela 100 Years Gala. Also, I'm doing some charity work there where I made a contribution in his organization where I said I want my money to go for school supplies, to help pay for school supplies and tuition to some of the disadvantaged kids where Nelson Mandela grew up. So I will be going down there to do some charity work as well too.
Wow, phenomenal. Just love that. One quick last question, and that is, so you had this love for cars.
Yes.
And for detailing, okay?
Yes.
And next thing you know, you're partnering with Google and Tesla. What would you attribute that quick rise to? Was there one thing that you would attribute it to? Was it that you just kept grinding it out? Is it that you did a great job in terms of like advertising and marketing yourself? If there was one thing that you would pinpoint that led to your rapid growth, what would you say it was?
The one thing for sure is to deliver the value to your clients, where rather than following the money, but what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're actually helping solve a problem. You're giving what they need as well too, and also just help others where you also give but don't expect anything to in return, right? And what I've realized that the more you give, actually more you receive, and especially if you don't expect anything as well.
Absolutely, it's true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
Thank you so much.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land here on Motivation Monday. Talking a little bit about mindfulness, meditation, manifestation. And so the question I have for each of you is, if there was one tip that you would give our viewers for creating the life creating a life they love, and sort of accomplishing their dreams, what would you recommend?
I would say don't let someone else decide how you feel about yourself. Don't give that responsibility to someone else. Responsibility means an ability to respond. You got to decide how you feel. And we all have this thing about waiting for everyone to praise us, but if you think about what you most want to hear and say to yourself, I'm a great kid, I'm proud of myself, I'm amazing, your mind actually doesn't know where those words come from. So whatever you wanted your mother, father, teacher, best friend, lover to say it to yourself. It actually empowers you more, because self-praise boosts your self-esteem more than the praise of other people. Praise yourself every day. It will change your entire life. Up the amount of praise you give to yourself, diminish the amount of criticism, and your life will become extraordinary almost immediately.
Oh, praise emoji.
Yes.
Yeah, full praise emoji, cross the board.
Play that song, I Need to Praise You Like I Do, from Fatboy Slim. Put
It's a great one.
To remind you, or that one by the other one, Shackles, I Need to Praise You. And just remind yourself that there is nothing on the planet that will boost your self-esteem like praise And self-praise is 10 times as effective as the praise of other people. You know, we live in a world where most of us work for ourselves. Now, we don't have a boss going, hey, great job. And if you don't build your praise muscle, no one else is going to do it.
Amen to that.
I mean, if you say it enough, do you sometimes then start to believe it? Because some people can say that, oh, great job to yourself, but if you don't really believe it, can you
See,
just...
the praise should be specific. Great job isn't enough. You know, I watch natural leaders like Jamie Oliver, and I teach people how to become a leader. And a leader won't go, great job. They'll go, you know, what you did today was so amazing. You said that to that person, and you watched them. And the praise must be specific, and it must be something you can quantify. So going, I'm a great person, my life is wonderful, that's just mush. You've got to go, I'm a good person because I'm warm and kind and nice. I love my kids. I'm good to my friends. Or today I did a great job. And also as a parent, say to your kid, what's great about you? They go, nothing. Go, no. What did you do today that was good? They go, I shared my pencils. You've got a good heart. So you also teach your children to not wait for another kid to go, I like you, but to go, I like myself. I'm enough. I do good things. I'm smart. I'm kind. I'm caring. And if you could all teach our children to think every day I'm significant, I matter, I'm enough, bullying would diminish massively by just because bullies never feel enough. And they make other kids not feel enough because that's the denominator. I feel so bad about myself. Who else can I make feel bad? Now I feel a bit better because they feel worse. So if we could all teach our kids to praise themselves. I have so many schools having all the kids every day say I'm enough, especially the disruptive ones, and they say it's incredible. We have a whole anti-bullying program that we give away to every school. Anyone can have it, it's completely free. Because I'm passionate about making children feel enough so they stop being bullied and being a bully.
So great. Yeah, we are meaning-making machines for sure. I like how you put because, whatever. So what do you think? What do you think the one thing is?
One thing is as well, don't be afraid to take risks in life as well too. When making a decision, there's three things. It's either what's the best case, what's the worst case, and what's the least likely case. And that's, regardless of whether if it's for personal decisions or business decisions, I always think of it that way, where by assessing those, you'll definitely know where you're going to be as well too. And then the other thing that's really important is as well as, and I've mentioned this and I do like to reiterate, is you definitely surround yourself with the right people, with a lot of positivity. You don't want to have negative people in your life where they just hold you back and bring you down. And don't let others dictate as to how you want to live. And then it's normal if people are jealous as to what you're doing, because usually those people, they wish that they were in your position. So
and that their car looked as good as ours, right?
Yeah, exactly. So. And then, yeah, just be the example for them and be the example for others.
It's like Cat Williams says, hey, stay on your job, you make me famous. Stay on your job.
I love that.
What about you, Julian?
I'm kind of going off of what he said. Don't be afraid to try something. You know, don't worry about failing, because I always say this, like, what's the worst that happens? You're exactly where you started. You know, if you try something that doesn't work out, you're still where you started. So I very much live that way. And also, another thing I say, one of the biggest wastes of time is worrying about what other people think. You know, just do what you feel is right and worry about other people, because, you know, all throughout my career I've had people say, oh, you know, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And then often it worked out just fine. Then they have nothing to say.
Yeah, I guess so. That's spoken like a true outlaw, right?
Oh my gosh, so true.
Well, thank you all again so much for being with us, for sharing your time and your insight. We are Good Morning LaLaLand, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And you can also catch all of your favorite interviews available as a podcast on iTunes.
That's right. We're waking up the world together. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and support these amazing, divine people. Have a beautiful day.
It's going to be a Good Morning LaLaLand.
Good morning. That's really catchy.